So I watched the State of Play, and
Was there another one or
no,
the?
this was the one last week, I guess. At this point,
Okay, yeah.
30 minutes you're not getting back.
no, I said it in our group where I was like, they said before we go, while I was waiting for it to start, it was like, here's all these indie titles that you've never heard of, or ports, or platformers, and yeah.
We didn't have anything, but Nintendo did, so
Yeah,
We had to
exactly.
We had
show
all
you
of the art
something.
departments send us whatever they could. We had Chuck do a cheap voiceover real quick.
We didn't even
slapped it
ask
up.
for video.
Nope.
Actually. Yeah, because the one at the Switch event, what was that called? Knockout City. That was at the Switch event. And it was like, check out our brand new game. And then they were like, hey, this. Again.
We have it too.
Yeah, I was you guys said it was nothing, and I thought you were exaggerating. I was like, there must be something in here worth.
When do we ever exaggerate?
Doesn't
think-
sound like us.
That doesn't
I
sound
think
like
the only
me.
thing people cared about was the Final Fantasy VII remake stuff.
The thing that was like, I was watching the whole time, and I was like, none of these are what we want on the PS5 right now. None of this at all.
Well,
And
none of
then
it looked like Elden Ring.
And then and then
Yeah.
the Final Fantasy VII remake stuff where they were like, here's how it looks on PS4 and here's how it looks on PS5. I was like, these are the games that should be on the PS5 right now. And then it's like, but also our 3D platformer that you probably could have played on your Xbox 360. Oh,
Sick.
yeah, great.
Get stoked, y'all.
It's like, I
Let's
don't,
see some pogs in the chat.
I don't care if I can play Crash Bandicoot at 4K 60 FPS.
I didn't ask. I didn't want this.
Okay.
Are y'all gonna have Valheim? 5 million Vikings.
Yeah, they hit 5 million.
Yeah. I was gonna bring that up. It's impressive. Man, what a runaway hit!
Yeah,
Like,
killing
look
it.
at him! Look at him go!
Killing it. As opposed to Sony, who didn't kill it.
Right.
Suck me, Sony.
Where are the games, Sony?
I wonder if while they were making it, they were like, they didn't. I imagine they didn't expect it to be this big, but if they were like, "Damn, this game's gonna be sick,"
We're about to go crazy.
It's gonna go up, yeah.
This is it, guys. We're gonna be legends.
We'll go down in history for making Valheim.
I'll put it in my history book. And
Yeah.
then I lost several weeks to Valheim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a chapter in your biography that's just like 4 pages long, and it's like, and here's the plot, and here's like my adventure through Valheim.
Here's
This-
me
Valheim
figuring roofs
days.
out.
Yeah.
I stopped doing everything else that I was supposed to and focused really hard on the beam system in Valheim.
We're gonna have a few chapters like that, but it'll be the Skyrim period, the
Couple
Red
chapters
Dead
for
moment,
RuneScape.
the RuneScape months.
Lost myself to Diddy Kong Racing one time.
Diddy Kong Racing was like a week into us dating, and I was like, I guess he hates me. He won't text me back. It was
Sorry,
just
Diddy
Diddy
playing
Kong.
Kong Racing though.
And look at you now, married and
It wasn't me. It was just Diddy Kong Racing.
No, that was the challenge. The gauntlet was thrown down. I was like, no, I'm not letting Diddy Kong beat me. Fuck you, whiz pig. I'm coming, bitch. I got you by this weekend for sure, motherfucker. Hold up, let me turn my phone off.
Yeah.
I can't take any distractions right now. So this
what
is sorry.
I was gonna say, what racer did you use in Diddy Kong Racing?
I'm a tip-top kind of guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what that looks like.
The turtle.
Mhm.
Okay.
The turtle dude, when you get a boost, his whole head just like flies back. He's like, ah.
Nice.
So, what do we got?
Episode 5.
Six.
Six.
We're on to the second hand.
Two hands.
Yeah.
This is a two-handed podcast now.
Two-handed episode.
Put both your hands together.
Yes. This is it. Yeah. We just recently received news of a canceled E3.
Okay, we're gonna start with the extra.
Yeah,
news.
we had that state of play and we had that Nintendo Direct, so they're kind of doing their own. Nintendo for a while now has kind of stepped back from E3 and everything and just been doing Nintendo Directs at the exact same time, just not at E3.
Yeah.
And then PlayStation or Sony did their state of play just now in response to the Direct, and so I guess with everyone going out on their own, E3 is canceled again this year.
R.I.P. E3.
Now, to clarify, that is currently it's the actual live convention that's canceled. There's still a chance, or there's still looking at like doing some sort of online event, that kind of thing. So that could still happen. But the E3 itself is canceled due to the pandemic again.
They should have been in Texas.
Same as everything. Oh, right.
Then
Yeah.
The pandemic's over here.
Here. Yeah.
Could have done it here.
They should have thought of that.
No.
Come on, you just cancel the whole event. You could have just moved it.
Go on over to Texas.
Yeah, it's that easy.
I saw I hate it here trending on Twitter the other day, and I was like, is it?
Please don't be Texas.
And it was Texas. It was like, great.
Me too.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm still gonna wear a mask at work, so like nothing.
Oh.
And when I go out, because I'm not a fucking idiot, but
I'm not a fucking Republican.
Yeah, that's what I said. So
What's the difference?
that's not gonna change. Yeah, that's not gonna change. And someone tries to tell me to take my mask off, I will not.
I'll do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. My exact response, which will probably get me fired if I do that. But if my job is not willing to continue to enforce, the CDC. Oh, I haven't gotten confirmation one way or the other, so this is not me here saying that. But if that ends up being the case, there's gonna be a problem.
My manager hit me like in hours, just like, "Hey, we're still enforcing that shit."
Yeah, as I would expect.
If you're listening, brother, good on you.
Mine can
Keep
go
up the good work.
Keep it up.
Well, it's for you guys. I mean, it hasn't found its way up here, but they're telling you guys to wear 2 masks now, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, we did go up to stage 5, at least in Austin, and that was a like, oh, we recommend 2 masks situation. I think we're back at stage 4, so good, I guess.
I can take a mask off, just one.
Yeah.
Just slide one off.
They weren't requiring that, but they were like, it might be better.
wait, what are the stages? I haven't paid attention to that.
I don't know, but I kept hearing, well, maybe 5 is like higher than anyone's gotten, so that like caught my attention.
Denial.
Is it like DEFCON 5?
That's what I was thinking.
I think we're in denial stage right now.
Pandemic threat level orange.
See, that's
Pandemic threat level, Black Watch plaid.
that's unironically here is like red, yellow, and like it's the worst because nobody really knows what any of it means.
No,
It's like, where is
stage 5 sounds
gray?
bad.
It's like, what does gray mean?
Oh,
Today's
moral
threat level,
now
our
gray.
truth.
Ochre.
Like, why
Yeah.
couldn't we use some more formal system other than yellow to red? There's no green, by the way.
No, well, not yet.
We're not getting there. It sounds good.
Well,
It's gonna be a while till you hit the green.
Right.
It's 'cause people in mass are essentially kindergartners. So you need this little chart where you can move the paper clip down to the sad face in order for everyone to like get it.
I just want like a how many Monka S's.
We're
at 3 monkas.
now after careful consideration, we've had to upgrade us to 3.5 Monka S's for this pandemic.
Cut to me, monkas.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You have to take away a gold star today.
Fuck.
Hopefully we'll add one tomorrow.
And with all of our convention, well, I guess E3, that convention was canceled, but with a Nintendo Direct and the State of Play, alongside all of this, we've got leaked Elden Ring gameplay.
Ooh, yeah.
After so long of having only a trailer, and that's it, we finally have something. It's not official, but it's something.
It's low quality, but it's there.
Cell phone footage of the trailer, but that
What
does
year
mean
is it?
it exists. Yeah.
Look, I saw Soul Mass. I'm hyped.
I saw like a soul greatsword, but he stabbed with it. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. More moves.
What's going
And
on
that
here?
the dude who rides by on the horse and he's like, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
On a horse.
Mm-hmm.
The motherfucker was on a horse.
Dark Souls with horses, dude.
In before PS5 exclusive.
I'll buy I don't care.
That would make me buy the
I'll
PS5.
buy the shit that
now
day.
I've got
It's finally
Demon
time. Yeah.
Souls
I'm gonna be in the
and
aisle
Elden Ring.
with the PlayStation and the Elden Ring.
That'll just
it on
be
top.
it. And then alongside, they'll announce Bloodborne for PC while I'm waiting. Please.
It is fun to dream. Yes.
Just buy it for PS4.
Well, yeah, you'll be able to play it on the PS5.
It's true.
Really? You can put PS4 games on the PS5?
PS5 is if you buy the as long as you buy the PS5 version that actually has the disc drive in it, you will be able to. It's backwards compatible. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
To a
But it's
point,
Will it
I
improve
think,
the frame
right?
rate on Bloodborne?
I believe so.
Okay.
I
Because
was
that
gonna say
frame rate on
prob-
Bloodborne is it's not great.
Pretty doo-doo.
It's kind of doo-doo.
I honestly I wouldn't expect it to improve the frame rate, but man, those load times will disappear.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Little
Yeah.
victories.
I'm not paid by Sony.
Would you want to be?
Disclaimer.
I would take that money in a heartbeat.
And
Take
I
Sony,
think-
pay me to stop slandering you.
I'll be nice.
Yes, we just said your state of play was worthless, and we're really upset about you not keeping up with production. But money talks.
And it's proof you need me.
I do accept check.
Just gonna get a check in the mail. Like from Sony. Oh, signed Sony. Signature at the bottom.
Please shut the fuck up. 6 cents.
Yeah, the little memo line on the check just says "Shut the fuck up." Wait a minute, this isn't a check; it's a bill.
Yeah, it's got a negative
An
value on
invoice.
it.
Hang on, I'm not cashing this.
Wait, this isn't a check; it's a cease and desist.
I'm being subpoenaed.
We were talking also, well, I guess let me back up. We were talking about Bloodborne frame rates. I saw there's a mod that you can get that will help it run at 60 FPS constantly. Apparently, the modding community has been working on Bloodborne a ton. Apparently,
Mod on the PS4? I've never. I don't know how it works.
I didn't read into it enough. I bring half facts, so that next week I can come back and tell you how wrong I was.
Yeah, it's
Saw
just
an
like a little
article title.
breadcrumb.
Saw an article title, went, "That's cool," and then swiped it away and went, "Thanks for suggesting that article."
I think I'll talk
That
about
is
that on the
relevant.
podcast.
The others must know.
I have approximate knowledge of many things. But along with that optimization, Remy, you said that there was some optimization to GTA Online.
Yeah, someone apparently has cracked GTA Online's load times by a whopping, well, not quite, almost 70%. Imagine how long you have to sit waiting for GTA Online to load. Now cut that down by 70%.
That's at least 7 minutes of load screens.
Yeah, that's
Out of
exactly. It's significant. I
They're
think
really long.
I
though.
think their official fastest time was somewhere around a minute and 50 seconds was what they were able to launch GTA Online for. Kind of
It's still so long. A
I
minute and 50
comparatively,
seconds. Well,
'cause
comparatively, but
we'd be
like,
sitting there waiting for online to come up for 13
oh wow.
minutes.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's-
remember the day it dropped. Like, I remember watching
Oh,
you
you
just
weren't getting-
try to get in.
Yeah.
Like,
Not then, but I mean, even to this day, like a whole 8 years later, it's still like a 20-minute loading screen.
it's nuts.
yeah.
So it's a fun
deep-
game, but like that's one of the things that like keeps me away from it. Like,
Oh, having
I don't have
to
time for this.
it always felt faster to like load story mode first and then
Yeah.
like switch to online, which is nuts. And by not actually cutting down time, but it felt better than just sitting there waiting for it.
Yeah,
Um,
like let me do a few extra things.
yeah, exactly. There are a couple of details here, and I'm not 100% certain what all of this is. But this user, Toaster CX, attributed the long load time to some file having like 63,000 item entries, and it had to run a check on all those item entries. And each time an item is found in this file, it has to run the check again, which they estimate led to damn near 2 million checks on it. And then they also discovered that the game was only loading from a single core on their CPU. So
Oh.
they like wrote code to fix all that shit. And now, yeah, like they've uploaded it, with the disclaimer that like, hey, this is just what I did and it worked for me, and you can try it, but like if it's not working for you, don't come crying to me about it. I just fixing this for me.
Shame.
The free mod. Yeah.
Why is it only using
Yeah.
one core? Why do I have so many cores?
Yeah,
If you're only going to use one of them. I'm out here, I got like 16 fucking cores. Just use them. Use a few of them.
I love their claim. By the way, I pulled this article from PC Gamer, but I do remember reading the post. Like I read a Reddit post that they made, the original Reddit post. They made the claim that it shouldn't take more than a day for a single dev to solve. So it's one of those things where Rockstar hasn't done it because everybody's just put up with it and poured money into this game. It's why there's not a new Grand Theft Auto yet. It's like, this thing prints money already. You guys put up with it, so we're just gonna leave as is.
But like, I feel like with GTA 6, like GTA 5 was and is like still insane. Like I remember when that game dropped and it was all anybody was talking about.
Yeah.
And
then
and then it's still GTA 5, right? So like I feel like they've probably been working on 6 very soon after 5, and they're like, just take as much time as you need, make the game, we'll make money off GTA 5 because it's GTA 5. And then Cyberpunk dropped and they were like, don't say anything, take as much time as you need, okay?
Yeah, hopefully.
But
yeah,
it's been
I would
forever.
It's been 8 years. The game came out, and well, it will be 8 years old this year, because it came out in 2013.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. Like, they also, to their credit, they add content to the online mode, right? It's not they're just like, all right, you've got your product, keep giving us money for it. They are, putting effort into it, but like at this point it's such a success. It's one of the most successful pieces of like media ever that, you know, why try to get people to move to a new game when
Yeah.
when they're already invested in this one, you know.
I feel that.
Who knows? Maybe this game outlives the console generations. It came out on PS3, and you know, here we are at PS5, right? And the first like game announcement for PS5 was like, "Hey, Grand Theft Auto 5 again, baby! It's as good as ever."
And Skyrim, also.
and Sky, we got your favorites.
They're not wrong.
Mhm.
I lost a lot of time to both those games.
Yeah, we forgot
Rolled
to
a
mention
lot
the
of blunts to
DP.
both those games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Aw.
2013 and 2011.
Yeah.
2 years I hardly remember.
Oh.
What a time that was.
What a time.
So I finally got around to watching WandaVision right before the season ended.
Just in time.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about it so far. So
Wait a minute.
here we go.
Honestly,
This is your spoiler alert. If
Yes.
yeah.
If you're not
Spoilers.
caught up on all but the last episode, which comes out later this week at the time of this recording, pause this, go watch it on your friend's Disney Plus account, then come back and continue the podcast.
We'll be here.
Okay, now that you're back, honestly, I'm probably going to reserve. I want to see the end. I want to see the end. But I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's sick.
I can't reserve the like enthusiasm I've already like built up for it. Like, I love it. I think it's so fun.
I feel like there's a lot of ground to cover for the fact that there's only one episode left. Like,
True.
I mean,
They'll
They're
probably
gonna
leave a few things
probably-
hanging, honestly.
Yeah.
They're gonna cliffhang us for
Yeah.
sure.
There's a movie coming or some shit.
yeah, it's supposed to lead directly into the Doctor Strange movie, right?
Oh, is that the case?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
think
that.
I think it's supposed to like tie directly into that, if not lead directly into that.
More hype.
Yeah.
Well, even Kevin Feige, the guy who oversees all of the big overarching stories of the MCU, he was saying that he doesn't know how long this show is going to be. He's like, I have no idea. Like, if it's going to keep making money, people are going to keep watching it, then we'll keep making it. But, like, we don't know where this ends right now.
Well, I would be disappointed if it was just leading into the Doctor Strange movie. I want a season 2. I like the show.
Well, just the way that their like content coalesces, though. Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
what is a season 2? Like, it's just like everything is just like every different superhero movie leads to the next phase, creates the next big
Yeah.
arc. I mean, what is a
Well-
sequel but just more of the same? You know, we'll just see
And I'm-
Wanda again elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean,
sure we'll get Vision again.
We probably
I-
won't.
Seems like I don't know
Well-
that for sure.
Well, I guess this
mean,
is
they're-
like half spoilers. He's back, right?
Well,
Right.
yeah.
But like
But I
really
don't
back,
think
not
we-
like from her memory.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
No, he's alive.
Yeah.
But and I think we're getting information on why that is, and that maybe she has some sort of like, connection with the stone. But I still we still don't know whether he exists or can be alive outside of her influence. So I don't know. I assumed from the very beginning that this was all one big journey to peace, to being at peace with the fact that he's just dead.
Mhm.
And I don't know, they haven't told us one way or another whether that's gonna be the case yet, so that's not spoilers or anything. I don't know, I feel like they're gonna make us come to terms with his death. I don't know.
it is that for her though.
Yeah.
Because as that last I've compared it to the Ghost of Christmas Past, that last episode we got, episode 8.
Yeah, previously on.
Yeah.
Right.
Where it's just she started this whole thing because she, I guess, wanted some closure or something. right? It's like to live to get old in or whatever it was that it said on the map. And then she was like, "Oh, okay." Ah! Right? And then all the shit happened.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of like she has a lot of repressed trauma, and
Mhm.
that she just hasn't dealt with, and you know that now she has to deal with it. So man, it's been
She
so good to
unleashed the
watch.
trauma bomb.
She
Yeah.
did. Well, and am I like right in understanding that the like lot she was at was like one that he purchased for them? Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The plan was, hey, once this is all done, we'll be able to just go here and live like a normal, happy life.
Regular
Mhm,
family.
mhm.
Yeah, there were a few there were some really cool things. Going in, I knew a lot of this stuff that happened. So a lot of the things that I said this to a few people. I was happy that I waited this long to watch it because if I had just watched those first two episodes after like right when they came out, I would be like, I'm never watching this show again. Like it was
Really?
like
Everyone hates them. It's so
it
sad.
was like it's just a 50s and then 60s sitcom and they barely even touch on like it being some bigger thing. It was just like, yep, this is us now.
They were just posing questions. Hey, well, here's a weird 50s thing. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Here's some more sitcom
Mhm.
shit. Why are we doing this? I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah,
liked them. It had me like all week, just like, oh, what's this shit about? What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
I liked it.
I was
I
tired
like
of it
got it.
immediately. Like as soon as that
Really?
second episode hit and I was like, please stop. And then we got more of the like outside world and I was like, good.
Yeah, I'm kind of in like in a spot in between y'all on that. I like the episode 1 and 2. I didn't hate them, but episode 3 is where it really the show really hooked me, and I was like, all right, now I'm binging to catch up. Like now I'm all in on it. 1 and 2, it was just it was a slower start. It wasn't too slow or anything like that. I mean, I was able to keep going with it, but yeah, 3 is where I got really into it.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
thought the style was cute. I thought like there was enough of like I know who these characters are outside of this context to create enough like mystery, intrigue within the like old sitcom vibe. Plus, I don't know, I like seeing like Kitty from that 70s show. I was like, oh yay. And I was like stoked as fuck to see Catherine Hahn in episode 1. I was like, fuck yeah, she's one of my favorites. So like, I don't know. There were like little bits in each of those episodes that I was still really excited about. I was like, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know. They've been catching my interest the whole fucking time.
and then the further you go on too, like it's very like they get even closer to the sitcom they're trying to be like,
Yeah.
right? Like the last episode is just like direct rips of Modern Family, like
Mhm.
and
Right. Yeah.
just like it's not even like up for debate at all. And then when they were in that uh flashback sequence, I
Mhm.
noticed they were watching Malcolm in the Middle. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, Disney really has this much reach now, huh?
Well, I mean, I think we're seeing like we're probably less familiar with the like Dick Van Dyke Show
Yeah,
and like I think maybe I Dream of Jeannie. I'm not really. I mean, I was getting a lot of those vibes as well, but like I bet they're nearly direct rips of those shows too.
yeah,
Like
that's probably
I think
fair.
all of
Pretty
them have
much.
pretty much just been like an homage to each of these shows,
I can
which you know.
one of my the recurring bits that really got me that I liked a lot. I probably enjoyed the commercials a lot more than I should have. They were
The
so
commercials are
funny to
great.
me.
The commercials were good. Little bits of detail to throw in there.
And before we found out who what's her name was, um,
Agatha?
yes, I thought
Agnes? Yeah.
yes, I thought the bit about Ralph, but we never ever saw Ralph. Had to be my
Pretty
favorite. She kept talking about her husband and how he's the worst.
Oh,
But we never saw him. I was like, this is funny. But now I'm like, oh,
there's a reason.
yeah.
Oh my god. That reveal. I was just like, yeah, I was so happy.
I'm evil.
Yes. Oh my god. Which is like, and I killed the dog too.
Yeah.
I love Catherine Hoth. A treasure.
Have we all seen The Boys as well?
No.
No?
I haven't finished it.
Y'all, you have to watch that.
Then never mind.
Yeah.
I had there's a funny parallel that I saw between the last episode and of one of the later episodes of The Boys, but
Okay.
Well, I'll have to ask you about that post pod. And y'all need to watch The Boys. It's a really good.
Yeah, no,
Also, you're the one who told us to watch The Boys.
yeah, right. You were you also check out The Boys.
I just never got around to finishing it. That's on me. That is on me. I forgot to get back to it, basically.
No, it's on me.
I'll take the blame.
Oh, okay. All right. I accept.
I should have never watched that show after you told me I should. I was a fool. It is a good one though.
It's great.
With Agatha though, I had like a conscious thought when Wanda was like freaking the fuck out and was like, you know, she was gonna get, I forget her name, Captain whatever her name was.
Ooh, Monica Rambeau or something like that.
Yes. Yeah. And then Agnes came up and was like, it's time to go. I was like, isn't it weird that she's like subconsciously having someone come get her out of this situation when everything else is frozen? That's crazy. It was like, oh. Just like there were so many little things that because I knew what happened later on were like really cool. Like all of the missing details. And then like when she asks Rambo, when Rambo comes in the first time and she doesn't know what's going on, when she asks her name, she doesn't know right away. That was a little teeny thing where she was like, and then what was her name? Geraldine or something like that. It just teeny tiny things that were like really neat because I knew what happened. Right.
Yeah.
Right. It would be a good like rewatch show. It would be nice to watch in binge format since that was my original plan, but I totally tossed it out the window because I was too curious. But it does seem like one that you like, oh, you watch all the way through, you get surprised, and then you go back and you're like, okay, let me like solve that mystery for myself.
Oh, and I can say we were talking a while. One of the big early reveals was Pietro, right? Where everyone was like, "What's going on?" I would not have known that it was the one from the X-Men. I would have just been like, "Oh, it's just some other dude."
Oh, you haven't seen that version of the X-Men?
I think I have, but long ago, where it's not in my brain.
Or something. I actually really like those X-Men movies. That wasn't the first one. That was the second one.
No. I was wondering if that was the first one that he was in, and I think
I think it is.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I really liked those movies. But I've always had a thing for James McAvoy, so.
Yeah, it's solid. I like that. If they had stick to that sitcom thing, though, I would have been over it very quickly. I'm glad it wasn't that. But we're getting lots of backstory all of a sudden for Wanda. It was like, oh, by the way, this character that we haven't talked about, here's all of it in 30 minutes. Here you go.
Yeah. Finally, like really fleshing out a character that like deserves it at this point.
For sure.
Which I gotta say,
the witch.
Yeah, I gotta say that for how well they've done with WandaVision, I'm a lot more open to the other like show projects that they've announced. Was it Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yep.
I'd watch it because I can, but I'm not that intrigued by it. But if they put some real effort into like trying to make that story interesting, like it seems like they did with WandaVision, I'll give it a fair shake.
Sure
I wonder if they could Oh, sorry. Can go.
I'm sure they got something good.
Mm-hmm.
It's Marvel.
Well, I wonder,
It's
like,
Disney.
if they can capture that, like, camp that they kind of managed to, like,
I think
that's
the tones will be different.
yeah,
Like they
and
won't
that's what
even
I
try.
like so much about WandaVision. That's what feels so like fresh is that it's like this very different vibe with like undertones of the same vibe with the like, sword and all that. But like, I don't know. It makes it more exciting to me
Mhm.
Right, but they
personally.
can't do it twice, and
No,
they
of
can't
course
do it
not.
for a different set of
And
characters.
yeah, they can't do it for those characters. It
It's
doesn't
plot
suit.
specific to the development of Wanda. We can't just keep doing that.
No,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm kind of expecting a spy thriller like the later Captain America movies,
That's
where
likely.
the Winter Soldier and Civil War. Look, Civil War was practically an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even like season 2 of WandaVision can't be like this now.
No.
It's just
No.
it's not going to be the same show if a season 2 happens. It's going to be this nice transition that they've been doing where they've slowly been transitioning just to the real world. It's just going to be that after this, right?
I have a hard time seeing a season 2.
I was gonna say, with that
Yeah.
in mind, I think I prefer it to just be a little story.
Yeah, I agree. But then like with this whole Vision thing, like where do we go with that, you know?
I mean, Vision as we know him isn't going to be around as far as I can tell.
No,
We're
I
just
don't
stuck with
think
Bad Vision now.
bad vision. We got bad vision now. Like everybody take off your glasses. I can't see.
Like, I don't know. We need to learn more about what being the Scarlet Witch means in the MCU. Right. That's a big reason I feel like, oh man, they have a lot to cover with this last episode. Not only do they need to wrap it up at least enough so that it's, we're all ready for wherever the next project is taking us, which I think is still supposed to be Doctor Strange. But we have to cover whatever this huge lore drop is supposed to be for what the Scarlet Witch is and what chaos energy is, because that right there, that feels like an introduction to whatever the new big MacGuffin is. Now that we've had the Infinity Stones, that has all been tied up mostly neatly, minus whatever the Loki show is supposed to cover. But yeah, like chaos energy, all that stuff, it's diving into deeper than I've gone into comics. So I'm really excited to find out more about it.
Well, I just found out we have 0 wait time on the Falcon Winter Soldier show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That
really?
turns around. WandaVision wraps up, and then the week after we start up the Falcon.
Oh yeah, because they're gonna be. I'm pretty sure they're gonna take the Winter Soldier right through until Star Wars' The Bad Batch comes out on May 4th, and then they're gonna have that do weekly releases until the next Star Wars and/or Marvel thing. I think it's
and
Loki, and then
they're letting Black Widow overlap then, because that'll start on May 7th.
I thought
is Black Widow a show
was a
or
movie.
movie?
Is that what I'm just?
That's going to be
I
a
think
movie.
it is. Yeah.
I had a great graphic. They're packing a lot into a year now. Like, it's funny how it started with just like Iron Man was the original. I think that might have been the like only Marvel movie that year, and they like slowly stepped it up to like a couple of movies a year. Now it's like we got shows into movies back into shows.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just have a lot, like Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home is all coming out this year. And that's just the movies, right? Oh, by the way, Doctor Strange actually got pushed back to March next year. So we got a full year to wait for Multiverse of Madness.
All right. Fair. Yeah, it seems like they're pushing this week to week schedule that they have going, where it's going to be back and forth between Star Wars and Marvel stuff. I would like to see WandaVision wrap up with like they give us a season finale which sets up a sick movie, and then give me the movie and then we're done.
Yeah. Okay, to clarify, we're getting 3 movies this year, one of which was supposed to be last year. That was Black Widow. They currently have 5 movies slated for 2022.
I'm
That's
seeing that.
that's
A
nuts.
lot.
That's
crazy.
nuts. Yeah. That's almost every other month.
Well,
And
when
then
you're not doing like theater releases the way there were, just send it to people's TVs. We want it fast, y'all.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't need to let it run long enough that you sell the tickets, right?
Right.
You just put it out there, and oh man, they're gonna charge extra to watch that on Disney Plus.
Probably will. Yeah. For a little bit, but then it's, immediately released, right?
You don't get to turn your nose up at that one. Come on. They can't sell movie tickets and you're worried about buying a movie at home?
You already pay for a subscription service, so
Yeah, and wasn't Mulan like an extra like $30 or some shit? Like, wasn't it kind of expensive?
Okay,
I
if it's
can't remember
that
how
bad,
much it
then
was.
yes, you can.
I don't know. I'm kind of just throwing that out, and I didn't look that up, but
it's like how you can subscribe to Hulu and still get ads.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if
Or
they're
you
gonna
can-
start charging for content, and I've already got a subscription, I can only say one thing. Yar.
Well, yeah, I think it was last year. The Mandalorian was the most pirated piece of media on the internet.
Believe that.
I am my complete lack of surprise.
Yeah, right.
Right.
rip Game of Thrones.
Yeah. The 1 and 2.
Also, I was right. Mulan was like a $24 to $29 fee to
Okay,
watch,
that's absurd.
Yeah,
which is a
because
lot.
I'm not even pirating
yeah,
that.
because
Nah.
well, yeah,
No,
because
Yeah,
well, I
why-
don't want it. Yeah.
I don't
I'm
want
not
it.
justifying it. I see what they're thinking. They can't charge a full family's worth of tickets for it. So they're like, no, we gotta
Yeah.
get
That's
like
fair
a full
too.
full
I guess
price
you're talking
movie out of
families.
this. Yeah,
Man, I'm just thinking myself because
Yeah,
like
me too.
$10, y'all. $10.
Yeah, no, but once I'm done, advocating for a giant corporation,
Right.
it's,
Disney has to make their money somehow.
it's still on top of the subscription you already pay for. Now, if they were like, here's it's $25 for those that don't have the subscription, or it's like here's a reduced price if you do,
That'd be
I'd get it a little more. I'd complain a little bit less. I'd still complain, but a little bit less.
Well, and still that was very quick Google. You might be right that that's just the like, it's on Disney Plus and you can rent it for $30 if you're not a subscriber. I don't know. And I also saw a $25 price. So maybe that's the difference.
Yeah,
$5 off feels really lame. Feels like it should be like half price if you already pay the money for that shit every month. But
Yo ho, to Pirate Bay I go.
For a small
except not
indie
'cause we
company
got a
like
friend
Disney.
login.
Yeah, get a friend login. Easy.
Shout out Storm, thanks.
For a small indie company like Disney, they got to be nickel and diming us to, stay in the positives.
That old mom and pop Disney.
It's
they
like
have
when
to,
that mom and
pay
pop
the artists somehow.
pulled all her music off of Spotify. It's just like,
Yeah.
she's just a young up and coming artist. She needs to make money.
I'm gonna re-record all my songs.
I mean, do that. Go ahead.
I made some bad business decisions and now I'm mad. Read a contract.
I don't like hearing it from her. I don't like it. She's right and wrong.
She's mostly wrong if we're being
She's
super
absolutely
honest.
wrong in that like you did sign the wrong contract.
You signed some bad contracts. You didn't have control of your shit.
Yeah.
Tough. Welcome to the industry.
But also like it is exposing parts of the industry that like are, morally questionable. It's just like, come on, Taylor Swift, you've got all of the assets, all of the resources to hire a good team of lawyers. You should have fucking known better. I don't know.
Agreed. And
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? And honestly, it doesn't expose a lot. It's things we've already known. It's a system we've already known about.
Oh yeah.
It's a predatory business we've already known about. And you didn't do your due diligence as an artist, not only as an artist, but as a moneyed artist with a background in family finance. Like your dad's an investment banker. Hire more lawyers.
Well, she is exposing that part of the industry to like her fans, which are mostly like young women, and like teaching young women how to do business, not a bad thought, right? Like look out for yourself, stand up for yourself, good messages, but like Taylor, it's just how the industry is, and you gotta, you know, I don't know, agree to better terms.
Teach them to read contracts.
Yeah.
Hey, 13-year-old female fan base, read contracts when you sign them.
But ultimately, I saw, not to, we went off about Taylor Swift, but not to, like I saw her.
We found one of my passion topics.
Yeah, we'll see.
Shitting on Taylor Swift.
I saw her new music on Spotify, and I'm like, why is Spotify recommending like Taylor's love story to me? And it says it like this, like Taylor Swift's love story, like, and that's her oldest shit song. And you reminded me it's because she is just like re-releasing all of her catalog, but
new recordings,
new under
masters.
her ownership. Yeah, totally new.
Because she has performance rights, I'm pretty sure, so she can re-record.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Which
loophole.
is honestly like really sick move. Like you should have done that without like making a big stink about it. Like if she had just like quietly been like, all right, Scooter, fuck you, and then gone and done this shit, hard.
No, that would have been cold as hell.
Right?
Cold as hell.
She just she's so
But
like,
is that on brand to not
Oh no,
raise a big
she's
stink
gotta
about something?
she's gotta be a victim. Oh god, I sound like such a woman hater when I talk about Taylor Swift.
It's not a woman, it's just a Taylor Swift hater.
No, it's
she's
just
It's just Taylor Swift.
She's just a bad person.
Women are great. She's just an immature person. She's just stuck at 20.
Which, I mean, we watched her documentary. She says as much.
She admits it. She's self-aware to a certain extent.
She's just very famous, so I can punch up.
Exactly. I'm not hurting you, Taylor. Don't worry. I don't wish any ill upon Taylor Swift.
Look,
I'm sure
when
that
support class is
a nice
looking down on Taylor, I'll chill out.
Like, okay, Taylor, we'll be nice. We'll be nice. I don't want
Maybe
any
we
bad
should leave
blood.
her alone.
Leave Taylor alone.
Well, Alex, to continue your I believe to continue your woman hating train.
Mhm.
My Taylor hating train.
Yes, your Taylor hating train. Take it away.
Okay, well, Patrick, chime in with me when you feel like it. But like to contextualize, I don't know how much y'all have been keeping up with Bachelor controversy. Okay. So you brought this up, but you don't know anything about it. You haven't
Look,
heard.
it came up in a Reddit browse, and I ended up reading the post just because, like, oh well,
Drama.
Alex and Pat are into this. Maybe I'll read up a little bit, and then I'll drop something about it, and they'll be like, oh, they'll be so impressed that I'm up on.
I'm picturing you reading this Reddit thread, and it's like that picture from Despicable Me where he's like, "You guys like this garbage?"
No, we hate it.
No, this
but
is
we're
bad
obsessed with the hate.
But okay, so you did know that this season of The Bachelor is the very first Black Bachelor.
I did learn that.
His name is Matt James, and they made a whole thing of it. It's got two first names.
I do want to, before we get off onto the content here, the great thing about Matt James is that he has one outfit and one personality. So any girl will they'll sideline with him, get the one-on-one, and be like, spills personal story, and his response to every single woman is, "Thank you for sharing that with me." Dude has no personality at all,
Just sitting
and
there
it
like,
is fantastic.
"Damn, that's crazy."
Yeah, it's him in skin tight khakis and a turtleneck saying, "Damn, that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for sharing that with me." It's great. He's
But don't worry, he's also
0.5
very
dimensional.
tall. So,
Right.
uh,
Everyone knows
well,
tall dudes don't need Remy excluded, but tall dudes don't need personalities. We all know that.
you need one though.
You need one.
You're not a part of that conversation.
This whole time I thought I didn't.
I was just coasting.
My whole brand.
Okay.
Thank you for
Well.
sharing that with me.
There's a woman on this season. I believe she's about 24. Her name is Rachel with an AE. So RACHAEL. Rachel. And she in 2018 went to a sorority party, I think, of which the theme was Old South antebellum. So, which is essentially, I mean, if we're being honest, it's just a reason. Well, it's racist. We just, that's the obvious
Let's all
thing.
get together and dress up like plantation owners and party.
But I think, yeah, it's definitely like a frilly dresses thing. It's just an excuse to wear like that style of fashion, but also just like steeped in racism. Because yes, you're essentially dressing up as slave owners, obviously. Yeah. Stupid shit.
Tone deaf. Yeah.
So pictures of her come out at this party. And everyone's like, dude, like she's racist. And I guess, as the internet does, like goes brigades against her, right? And this was all happening when Chris Harrison, the host of The Bachelor, who's been the host from day one, he's Papa Bachelor. He's everyone's dad in the Bachelor Nation.
He has the job I want.
Yeah, he just gets to coach these people through relationships and love while
He
just
doesn't
like
really. He just kind of stands there, but he's like, "Well, what do you think?"
he just like pushes them for
Roses.
love.
Does he? Hold
Ladies
on. Does
there.
he refer to himself as that?
No, no,
So
not
I'd
at
like, welcome to the show. I'd like you to call me father.
That'll be
I'm
sick.
Father Bachelor.
That'll be so sick. Father Harrison.
Father Harrison. Oh my god,
That'd be fucking hilarious.
it is kind of like its own little like cult. So yeah, he's their
Bachelor
little.
Nation.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes on an interview show, extra TV. The interviewer being an ex-bachelorette contestant, not contestant, bachelorette. They would fire me for saying that. But she was a bachelorette. She's a Black woman, and she's asking him about this situation. Her name is also Rachel, which is the main reason I spelled out the previous Rachel's name. She's a normal Rachel. Anyways, so she's like, "Well, what do you think of this? Like, what's your response, essentially?" And he's like, "Look, people are just taking it too far. Like, with the like, we're as woke as we are in 20." And he keeps using the word woke, which is just the worst. In 2021, it's not the same environment. Like, it was 5 years ago, and she like didn't know better kind of shit, and now everyone's looking into her parents' voting records, and it's just out of control. And he's just like, essentially being like, all of the Republican politicians are calling like it like woke culture. What are they saying?
Cancel culture.
No, they're using the word woke a lot, which is getting really annoying. I'm seeing Ted Cruz say it all the time now too. I'm just like, oh, old white men have started claiming the word woke, and they're using it against everyone. This is just great. But to sum it up, she kind of pushes back and is like, well, but don't you think like it was only a few years ago? It was actually 2018, and like that's actually something we should like, condemn kind of thing. And she's like, can you imagine if I were to go to a party like that? Like, what message would that send to like being a Black woman? And he's like, well, Rachel, like you're like we love you, like you're really great, but like I don't know, like it still just seems like everyone's taking this too far, and like what it sounds like is just a, a defensive sort of like a family member, friend just being like, hey, like, but they're not actually that bad. They just did a bad thing, and like really the bad thing is social media. And like and social media, everyone on social media is doing it, and he just goes on and on. And it doesn't matter. It just it's too much. And he doesn't let Rachel get an word in edgewise, and like and it's just weird, and like you can tell that he thinks it's wrong but he doesn't want to admit it. That caused a big stir. Everyone was like, whoa, Chris Harrison's defending racism. It's like exposing all of these things we were already kind of talking about The Bachelor. The reason that they unfortunately the reason that like 26 seasons in they finally have a black man who's the Bachelor, like this was already kind of like in the air. And so Chris Harrison's like, I'm stepping down, like, for a little while. So
Aside.
he's,
Aside.
Aside. Yes, not down. Aside. He's gone for a little bit.
Language is important there.
Absolutely. Because he has not said, like, I'm out. And they did make a good call for his, like, interim replacement. He's the guy.
Actually, yeah, there's a great dude replacing him. His name is escaping me right now, but I came across his channel a few weeks ago on YouTube. He has a channel called Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. He's based in Austin, so he's interviewing a bunch of like dudes from our area. I mean, who need to talk to a black dude for sure, because they never have in their lives. But I saw an episode of him sitting down with Matthew McConaughey that ended up being a really good watch. So when I saw that announcement, I was like, dang, okay, with this climate, that's a fantastic choice.
It really is.
That aside.
It was like a really good PR move. good job. But anyways, so this all gets into a contestant, Taylor Nolan, who was very, very vocal and very like in a very like, angry way about wanting Chris Harrison just out, like fired. Like
and I'm as leftist as they come, but it was full on like SJW screeching.
It was a lot.
Whoo, like, all right.
Well, and like I don't want to excuse anything that he like said, because he was his response was poorly thought, and it came across as very like I don't know what to say, so I'm just getting really defensive, and he's normally more put together than all that. He fucked up. But I don't know. She's doing the most. But comes out that she has like a whole bunch, like a lot of racist as fuck tweets. And this is a woman who is I mixed black and white, I believe. I did watch her season of The Bachelor, but I forgot. She talked about it. It's part of her identity, like, she was being really vocal about like racism and The Bachelor. Meanwhile, I didn't look up the tweets. Patrick looked up the tweets. She said some really horrible things.
Oh,
and
she's a disgusting person.
I wouldn't repeat them. Like, this isn't some like, like, oh, well, they can be construed as like, no, these are on their face very racist.
It's black and white. It's I mean,
and homophobic.
All she does is she drops big F bombs. She disparages just Asians like crazy. She's really shitting on Indian dudes. She's just gross.
She's like, an Asian. It's just fucking weird. Yeah. It's fucking gross.
It's weird because like, so it comes up that she has all these terrible tweets, right? After leading this hashtag fire Chris Harrison just blitz.
Yeah.
Accepting no apologies from anybody involved, saying like, oh, that's half-assed. Oh, nope, accountability this. Nope, it was racist back then too. When the receipts pull you on the same exact shit, and then your apology was mostly just self-congratulation. So moral of the story is, damn, that bitch sucks.
She sucks. Well, she like, her first apology was like, I'm being attacked and harassed, and I'm not apologizing to my haters, only the people who like appreciate me, I guess. And like then the next day she releases another apology being like, I understand that wasn't a real apology, and like
her
And
agent was like, "You gotta do that again."
yeah, dude,
that doesn't
wasn't it.
work.
You're supposed to send these to me first.
Well, and
You
here's the
can't.
kicker. This woman's occupation is a therapist.
She's a therapist.
She is a counselor of humans. And I just and the season that she was on, I've gone off about her to Patrick like ages ago when I watched it. She was like 22 years old and talking about her master's degree constantly. She's like, I have a master's degree in psychology. And she's like, went to a good school or whatever. And then like halfway through the season confronts this like, hot as shit blonde girl for essentially being like stupid and annoying, and basically like pulls her aside to have a little heart to heart about how she's stupid and annoying and like basically calls her these things in like a lot of coded language, and she defends herself being like, I just said she doesn't have emotional intelligence, not that she's stupid. It's like, you fucking bitch.
She's emotionally stupid. Emotionally stupid.
But my master's degree told me that I'm emotionally very smart. So I told her,
God.
fuck you.
Oh, and she gets eliminated and then like comes back and like it's one of those like, oh, she walks in on their date moments and she has to like clarify to the guy that like, I just said she's emotionally unintelligent, and like she still goes home and like, oh my God. But when Patrick was like,
The last
turns
word.
out, yeah, she's gotta have her moment. When Patrick told me like she had all these tweets, I was like, yes, like I fucking knew it. She's horrible. Like, what a monster woman. And I'm just woman hating, Taylor hating. It's just
No, it's
Taylor.
not. Yeah, don't
Just
unqualify
Taylor's.
yourself.
Just Taylor.
I know. I just feel bad. It's just like all of the attacks people use against women generally, but like she's actually being
She's
a huge
awful.
piece of
She's
shit.
super
Yeah.
awful.
Mhm.
You're
No,
thinking that
totally.
I'm gonna send you all these tweets in private, and you're gonna go, "Oh, fuck!" Like,
Yeah,
this is not. You can't say these things now. You can't say these things in 2011. You can't say these things and be a therapist.
Yeah.
Kidding me?
I thought I'd seen in like the Reddit post that she also just like disparages against people with like mental health issues,
Yes.
right? Like
She attacks everybody.
It goes into that. Like,
and people for their weight, like
A lot of fat shaming. A lot of fat. She's got like 30
Everything-
tweets on fat shaming.
and you know when she made these tweets, she was probably like 18
Still
or
an
some
idiot.
shit. Exactly. But like if you're gonna go after this other girl, and not that what this other girl did was like worth defending, but like I don't know, like you can't excuse it for yourself being like young or stupid.
Yeah.
Like this girl was young and stupid too, and y'all both should have known better.
And
Like,
it would have been one thing if she had a couple of, questionable tweets. She has a Trumpian level output. You can find like 60 tweets that are all just vile. It's just all vomit. All of it's terrible. It is too much. It's like way too. You can't just say sorry for this many infractions. This is repeated over and over and over. It's a catalog. I could print a book. Like, girl, be quiet.
Do it and
Delete
then
your
sell
account.
that book.
I wish. Yes.
Hang on, I gotta go.
wait a minute.
You know what? Because I'm still
Pause the
let me
recording.
walk a bit of this back because she was championing the hashtag fire Chris Harrison, and I am on board. We should go ahead and fire Chris Harrison, but I need to be honest because hashtag hire JPAT.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
I want to host The Bachelor.
Hey,
JPAT would be great in that role.
I'm trying to host The Bachelor.
I can see it.
I was so ready for that setup where you're like, and they did replace him, and his name's escaping me right now. I think it was like Patrick or something, but
JPAT.
Me?
another white man from Texas, not a huge
It's
leap.
brand appropriate.
Yeah.
I'm not a racist.
Yeah.
Um,
You're from Austin, not Dallas. So,
that's
like
an improvement.
more liberal. Well, not from.
I don't go to
not
weird racist antebellum parties, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, who the fuck
Check
does?
me out.
yeah.
Who fucking goes to parties like that? Like what what dipshit thought, you know what? that we should theme it plantation owners. We should just it's a party, dude. Idiots. Texas is the worst. I hate it here.
Texas is the worst.
In
Man,
summation,
this place sucks. I hate it here. I fucking hate it here.
Come on, it's not the worst. Like there's
I mean,
I hate it here.
there's Mississippi, you know, like
that's true.
You're right, but
they're also opening 100%, and
You're right.
you know, don't have the cool shit that we do. So
You're right.
come on, like,
but their politicians aren't all up in the media.
True. We're
True.
really loud.
True. We are
Like our dudes, we send
are
the work,
much
man.
more important as a state.
And that makes it worse. Like we're like out here heavy on the stage, big dick swing in Texas, and we swing Ted Cruz out to the people.
Out
We're
to
responsible
Cancun,
for
actually.
Ted Cruz.
Whip them over there, and then to Florida.
Yeah, quick stop over here in Texas to hand out a water bottle, and then off to Florida.
Y'all seen that haircut he's been rocking lately too?
No.
Basically a mullet.
What? Oh my god! It just
He's like shaving the sides, but like not the top and back. It's weird.
Well, did anyone have an exciting week this week?
No.
Been mostly homework.
no.
I will say, yeah, it's not that interesting. I can't really show or tell too much, but I did. I guess I could kind of say that I picked up a client for the first time in a fucking year.
Woo!
A buddy of mine, not a close buddy, but somebody I know from the industry that I work in, approached me with some of his music, and it was shockingly good. And now I'm helping him develop that. It's cool so far.
Heck yeah.
Shocking
been my
because like he's fairly new to like creating music, right?
Yeah, it's because he's apparently just a jack of all trades. Dude was like at one point a professional skateboarder, stopped doing that, started going pro in bike racing, and quit because he didn't like it anymore. He's like, I'm gonna start making music again. I used to play guitar, and he's writing great songs. It's kind of fucked up.
I didn't know who it was. You were like playing them the other night, and I was like, "Wait, this is really nice." Like
These are his demos.
He's
Are
good.
these the demos that you got in MP4? Is that this guy that only
Oh.
send you like videos of him?
No. Thankfully, no.
My demos. This is a YouTube link.
I
Okay,
can't.
sure.
Yeah, you just click on the link like, oh, it's in 480, but really?
I guess the video itself doesn't matter, but where do you find a camera to film in 480?
That's exciting though.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
like
good.
good things to come, maybe.
Hopefully. He's already like, I mean, he's a really eager dude. And so he's like, you're gonna play these live with me, right? And I was like, if I need to, shit, like we'll see what happens. We need to define a style first. Relax.
One step at a time.
We need live
He's a
music
very
back.
excited dude.
Hang on.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I mentioned this when we were all just kind of hanging out. I had a dream the other night about like going to a live music venue to catch. What's that?
No,
No,
just you said live music. It was like, oh,
Yeah. Oh,
I
okay.
remember live
I was
music.
worried I was having connection issues again, but no,
No.
yeah. I had a dream that I went with people to this venue, and you know, I was all excited, and then like I look around and realize like, hey, wait, nobody's wearing a mask. Wait a minute, where's my mask? And then I woke up.
I woke up like,
Yeah.
That's fucking awful.
It wasn't a venue I had been to as far as I can recall. It was just like nondescript venue to see a nondescript artist. Like I don't know what artists I was seeing.
Tiny desk concert.
Oh, you're right. It was. I did
Oh,
say
yeah,
that. It was specifically supposed to be a tiny desk concert. It just wasn't necessarily that typical spot that they filmed that in.
It wasn't the
It
tiny
wasn't Bob Boylan's desk.
No.
And does it really count?
what kind of tiny desk concert
maybe
is this?
Took it on the road.
Did Boylan bring his desk to the venue? Set it down?
Guys, it was a dream. There's a lot of there's a lot of
I need
details that don't add
details.
up. There were people there that like I haven't spoken to in years.
Wait, what are you doing here?
What? Like, wait a minute, you have a kid now. What's going on? Yeah,
Ugh.
it was that kind of thing. But yeah,
R.I.P. to all our friends with kids.
yeah, right. But it was that kind of thing where it was just like, oh man, like, and someone. It's funny too. I was basically approached walking down what I remember in my head was supposed to just be like basically a block of music venues, like small ones. And you know, the guy standing outside one of the doors was like, "Hey, you want to see a Tiny Desk concert?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to see a Tiny Desk concert." But he looked around first, like he was trying to keep it on the down low. I was like, "Yeah, I do. I want to see that Tiny Desk concert."
Come over here.
Hey, come
Come
over
on.
here.
Go inside.
You ever seen someone play a cello behind a desk?
You walk
Not
into this just like random store and he looks at the desk clerk like, "Do you have a red striped umbrella?" And it's like, "Yes," and then pushes a button and a door opens. It's like, "Follow me."
Yeah, like a fake like bookshelf like moves and what? Where are you taking me?
You see a sea of beanies on the other side.
I don't remember who I was seeing. I just remember it was some scruffy white guy with glasses. You know, like yeah. So
Typical Tiny Desk.
Man,
We need to have a weekly segment now. Remy's Dream Diary.
I should start keeping a dream diary again because I did that for a while in an attempt to like lucid dream, which I managed to do a couple of times. It's
that's
fun.
sweet.
Yeah. But I haven't tried in a while. This is the first dream I think I can remember and for a good minute.
What was the last show you went to, if you can remember,
Oh.
before everything shut down?
JID.
I was there for that show.
Yeah, you came to Houston.
Don't think that was my last, but let me think.
I think that was my last.
We saw
Saba opened for him. And we barely caught Saba.
Yeah, I remember that.
it was Carly Rae in 2019.
Right. But that wasn't last.
No, what happened between then and March 2020?
How about you, Gib, while they're thinking about it?
Mine, if I recall correctly, it was one of two shows. And the one show was this band. They're a British rock group called Don Broco. And they were, I saw them first at the Mike Shinoda show. And so they came back to Toronto and they were playing at this bar. Like just a bar.
Yeah.
And
know
it
that.
was with another band called Trash Boat. And there were two other bands there. And I can't remember.
It reminds me of like a person, right? Like Andy's band names. I think this was Scarecrow Boat.
And the other one was oh man. It's like one of your big name prog groups. I'm gonna have to find it. But the opening band was a Toronto instrumental band called Intervals. And I went and I saw Intervals and I left. Like, that's enough for me. I'll see you guys later.
Stay for the band that you went to go for?
So the band that I went for was the opening band. So I was there for 30 minutes and I left.
I've done that before.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've dipped for.
But like the other bands. Oh yeah, it was Between the Buried and Me was the headliner. And I was like,
Yeah.
whatever. I'll see ya.
They got a good show though.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. It's just like I don't listen to their music enough, really. And I was like, these people are gonna be like, you know, when you're at a show and you're not a fan and everyone else is going crazy, and you're just kind of like.
My roommate got free tickets to John Petrucci in 2019, and we went. And let me tell you, really great guitar player. You have seen an hour of his show. in 6 minutes. You can leave. Like it's all very impressive, but it wears thin rapidly.
Mm.
And when like it's like we're sitting up there in the stands, like having a good time, having some drinks, enjoying ourselves, whatever. But then like the 50-year-old dudes down near the stage are all fire hands, and it's like I'm clearly not as excited as you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go.
That was like going to see Dredge and Alkaline Trio. And like everybody in the crowd looked like they were at least 10 years older than me. And it's like, I'm still into this. Feel out of place.
I'm still going crazy for Alkaline Trio though.
Yeah, no, Alkaline Trio still killed it. But like, look, I do remember looking around and going, everybody is older.
I mean, that was like a lot of what we were getting into at the time.
We were also much younger.
We were just like rolling around the city at like 17, going to shows that we probably had no business at, but you know.
Well, I was definitely the youngest person at the Alexis on Fire show, no doubt. Because like I was,
you at least looked it.
Yeah, everyone else knew too, actually.
Yo, whose kid is that?
Did you lose your mom?
Who brought their baby, dude?
You need to have an adult with you.
It's really cool to see new generations getting into Alexis.
Oh man. That's a band I'd love to see again.
And you should. It was wild. The venue they performed at that I saw them at is on Lake Ontario, and it's like 20 miles from an airport. And my friend was working at the airport at the time, and he sent me a text at the show. He was just like, what the fuck? This is so loud. Because like hometown show, and it's Alexis on Fire, so all of the sing-along parts were just like, you couldn't hear the band anymore.
Oh yeah.
And they had turned it up for Toronto. It was obnoxious.
I would love to see that, because when I first saw them, here we are just telling show stories now. When I first saw them, they were bringing La Dispute on one of their first tours. And they played like a sidecar venue to a spot that was called the Warehouse in Houston. And it was just this little shoebox, a little fucking shitty shoebox. They must have played the set for 60 of us.
Ooh.
Like, you know, we were just there.
They
didn't fill the room. It was sick. And then like they just like walked off the stage and to the side after the set, and I was just like, I was like, oh Dallas, oh I love you, man. Shit.
Dallas, move over. I want to talk to George.
Wait, voice cracking still.
Oh Dallas, I really like your music. I got a tattoo.
Did you figure out what that show was? That show that you last went to?
When did we see George Clanton?
You know what? It probably was Clanton, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it probably was Clanton.
I don't know if he was before or after Carly, but
I don't really either.
Carly was the last like big one. I mean, that was like not just like a Mohawk show.
I was gonna ask, you guys didn't do like a smaller one in?
We did. I mean, we saw that one of like Jamie's that British
I was
band.
at a show every week before the pandemic.
I was gonna say we saw a bunch of little shows, but none that like we're like a fan of and seeking out. Like,
yeah, it was just like Jamie, like, oh, well, we're gonna scout these dudes, or hey, I got these dudes performing here. It's just local shit.
Gotcha. That's still pretty cool.
No, it's it's fun. I miss it.
I'd love to be in an area to like catch small stuff like that. I'd love to be in a time to catch small stuff like that.
Yeah, but all our goddamn venues are closed. Oh, speaking of closing, the Alamo Draft House
filed for
bankruptcy, and the Ritz location will not be reopening.
Austin news.
Yeah.
That sucks.
For any Austin film buffs out there, sorry.
Do you know Alamo Draft House is a movie theater that also serves like dinner.
But
that's like, you know, obviously
it qualifies as a chain though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But obviously all these like other theaters are kind of like following that trend. But Alamo like does have like a cult following of like film buffs, and they put on like old movies and shit
It's a
for,
film
you know,
house.
film nerds to
They
come
do
rewatch and shit. Like,
Yeah.
Old classics, all that stuff.
yeah, but they're all over the city. So it's not just like the one, but that you said that was their original
like,
location.
flagship location at the Ritz. It was like it's a historic theater. It's a 100-year-old theater. Really
It's a
weird
cool little
layout, really
theater.
cool vibe. They had a bunch of events there, and it's gone forever now. May it rest in peace. Another COVID
sucks.
casualty.
That was a nice one. We saw a few at that one because I feel like that one didn't sell out because you can't just walk up and buy tickets at Alamo. Like, people buy tickets in advance to this place every movie almost all the time. And like, so the Ritz was often the one that hadn't been bought out. I think we saw like The Disaster Artist
We
and
did.
Panther maybe
We did a room
there
showing there as well.
in the room. Really?
Yep.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. No. Oh, I'm gonna miss it. R.I.P.
Yep. Fuck you, COVID.
Fuck to well,
Did y'all have any drive-in theaters like within driving distance?
I think that
Not that I
they
know of.
exist, but I've never been.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gib, you're nodding yes.
Yeah, there's one like 5 minutes from Katie's house that is on the verge of closing due to light pollution. Woo! Yeah, building
Yeah, it
up
was in 5 minutes
communities.
from the house. Well, that's what I'm used to them being like an hour out because
Yeah.
in Texas, if you go an hour out anywhere, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. So like,
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
one I know about is that one south of Dallas.
Well,
Yeah.
there's
all I got.
there's one on the north side of Houston, like a little bit
Okay.
of
my
a ways
friends
out.
live there.
Yeah, I went to that one during this pandemic, and that was a really nice experience. But I think that's the last movie I went and saw anywhere.
Well, I've
I-
been seeing a lot of things advertised for drive-ins, like shows, like drag shows specifically is one of them. Like
Mhm.
drive-ins might be more of a thing again because we don't all want to like sit in each other's space. You got your bubble.
I will say I didn't bring an air mattress, and like that was a mistake. I should have definitely done that.
An air mattress for in your car or like getting out of your car?
Right outside my car, like basically like next to it, or yeah, next to it to watch. Because I tried to watch from like the trunk of my car, like I put the seats down, put like some cushions out, just wasn't quite able to get fully comfortable.
Really?
I remember talking old venues. One of the last shows I went to, it was this really old place, and it was very hot towards the end, and everyone was waiting for the last band, Northlane, to come on. And all of a sudden, we just hear like a bell, and it's going at this constant. It's like ding, 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 and so slowly, everyone, without saying a word, I don't know how it happened, but everyone's just like ding, 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 ding.
Oh,
And it keeps going and it keeps going. And then Marcus from Northlane, the lead singer, comes over on the mic. He's like, guys, that's the fire alarm.
Oh,
We need to leave.
get out!
Run.
Yeah, we were all like,
ding,
what?
ding.
Because it wasn't
No
even a
way.
big place. Anywho, speaking of music, what are we listening to? Anyone got anything
nothing
new?
new.
I listened to a new song just before this. I made a point of it because Japanese Breakfast is dropping an album, and I've liked an album of hers well enough. But the song just didn't hit. It wasn't very good. So I listened to an okay song.
Yeah, she was
You
listening
just-
to it back here,
Yeah.
and I
over
was sitting
there.
right here, and I don't remember exactly what it said, but I was like, "Oh, is that new Japanese breakfast?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's pretty bad."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just like shouted like, "Yo, this is bad." Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you asked who it
I
was.
don't know if I asked. I just was like, "This is not good."
No.
Picturing you on Valheim, like, This is shit, actually.
That's
You
actually.
turn that off.
Yeah, turn that shit off.
I'm wearing headphones and I don't like it. Okay.
It has the makings of a good song.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
It just isn't.
one.
You can't not nail the 80s synth pop vibe right now. It's too
Everywhere.
powerful. People, yeah, exactly. Everyone is doing it, and if you're doing it bad, who even cares about you, dude? There's
Too
better
strong.
Facts.
Spotify recommended a new artist to me that I'm getting a bit more into called Vantage, and it's future funk. The album itself was J Funk City, Vantage's Edits Collection.
Okay.
And I was just doing this whole thing.
shit. I'm already trying to replace Daft Punk.
Just sitting
Not
there
really.
like,
See, it like tears coming down. It's not the same. No, but it was really good. I was grooving to it. I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it.
Okay,
Solid.
Vantage.
one of the more prominent metalcore bands called Architects put out their new album, and it was a big old letdown. It was one of those bands where it was like they were on a few albums that were like front to back, this is it. And then, I mean, to give a little bit more context, before the drop of their last album, their lead guitarist died. So they got a new guitarist who wrote stuff that sounded like the album they were putting out to fill in the gaps, and then they put out that album. And then they went to this new one, and it doesn't. There's a few songs on there where you're like, yeah, this is the next step for this band. That makes sense. And then the rest of it's like, this isn't the same thing at all, even. And it was just, it wasn't
Losing
even
a
like
lead is huge.
good different. It was just,
You can't just go lose a lead.
yeah.
Yes,
So-
well, especially if they die. That's like, not only like have you lost that person and what they gave to your shit, but like everyone is very deeply affected by it, I'm sure. Like that'll rattle a creative process.
So not vibing to it
No.
very much.
No, I'll stick to my
Damn.
Star Wars. Thank you.
So this week we only have anti-vibes.
Yeah.
No,
Bad
I brought
music
more-
week.
No,
Bad
hold on.
music week.
Oh, wait,
Everything
good
we
week.
said is bad. Nothing
Vintage,
anyone
we
said was
hate
good.
Well, and Japanese Breakfast, that was only a lead single. Maybe the rest of the album's good. The vinyl is, she's got a bunch of beautiful colors. So
That'll sell a record.
maybe I'll do it. Yeah, maybe I'll buy it just because I like the tangerine of that.
Please don't do that.
I'm not going to. I don't even have the album of hers that I like. I'm not going to pre-order this one.
I feel like I've made that mistake, not with vinyl, but like with CDs. When I, before I had Bluetooth in my car, and I was still getting CDs just to have music. And I would get the new CD from a given artist. I was like, oh, I loved this previous album. I'll just get their brand new one. And it's like, this is not as good. I should have gotten the album I loved the most.
Yep.
This is just not doesn't quite hit the same.
That's just how it used to be. I remember that, like me and my dad going and shopping for music and just being like, let's try this one, and just buying a CD. And same on iTunes, just like purchasing a whole album and then being like, ooh, actually, I kind of hate this. But
Y'all didn't go to Barnes and Noble and sit there with the scanner and try the
No,
CD out.
fucking hated doing that. I really hated doing that.
All right, this
Is this not
podcast is
something you
over.
ever did give? Is this too old? Well, I just my like social anxiety. I can't be hogging those headphones. I need to walk away. Like someone else wants to use this. I don't know. I got
No,
too
they
in my
don't.
head about it.
Yeah, me.
You ever been to one of those? Nobody else is using those things.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I'm
I
walking
didn't
over with a
like.
stack of 15 and I'm about to rifle through them. I'll let you know what I'm gonna get.
Really? I do like one or so, but also I think it was always someone with me who was like, "Come on!" I never just like went by myself to check out tunes.
Oh, I was regularly just left to my own devices at Barnes and Noble.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those kids in the manga aisle.
Oh yeah, no, same.
You'd be sitting down, a couple of different books out. I remember you, bitch.
No, I wouldn't pull more than one. I did not.
Okay.
Wasn't
Okay.
Oh
that
yeah, only one.
that asshole? But I did just straight up read in their store.
They've got like cushions and they've got reading
chairs and shit, yeah.
sections. Yeah,
Those
they
chairs were always taken.
they were.
You
So
just go
you
over to
gotta
Starbucks,
pull up a
too?
stool.
Because they had the
Starbucks. Oh,
Starbucks inside. Just go sit down over there with the book.
That's true. I never thought of that one.
well, it does feel like you're kind of walking away with it now. Like that's a little far.
I could go walk back, put it back.
True. I would just sit on the floor and be like, oh, fucking dweeb.
Nerd.
Whatever. I'm
Yeah,
cool now.
she's the nerd.
Yeah. I can't believe you sat on the floor.
You're just sitting on the floor in front of the bookshelf. Someone walks up like, excuse me, can I see the book down there? You're like, I am reading.
Fruit.
Sounds like
Excuse me?
Certainly wouldn't have been like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, let me move.
No, when it comes to reading, that's it.
Reading is life.
Shh.
This isn't a library.
I said shh.
Did I stutter?
Well, we were kind of all over the map. It was disappointing video game events. It was Elden Ring. It was
Disappointing.
Okay. it was WandaVision.
Not disappointing.
It was The Bachelor.
Disappointing.
It was old shows, old live shows.
Weren't disappointing in the moment. Today, they kind of are.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Shows themselves aren't disappointing. And then Remy found some new music to jam to.
Yeah.
So overall,
Nobody else did that.
No, everybody else.
Disappointing.
Did I can't remember if I mentioned this last week. You guys turned me on to Dua Lipa, and I've also been jamming that.
And you're rocking the
Nice.
Dupa Lupa.
Doopaloopa, dude.
Dual IPA, as I like to call it.
Yes.
Yeah, Future Nostalgia, the Moonlight Edition, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing that pretty regularly when driving to or from work.
It's full of jams.
So good.
Mhm.
It's fun as shit.
So I had a great music week. I don't know what y'all are doing.
I mean, I just listened to a bunch of Freddie Gibbs all week and
Oh,
demos.
if
I was listening
only.
to demos of my new
That
my
sounds
buddy's
pretty
project.
good. Mhm.
I would
Yeah,
love
if y'all
to
haven't
have
listened to
rediscovered
Freddie Gibbs
Dua.
Alfredo, god damn it, that shit's
Solid.
good. Highlighted tracks. My favorite is a track called Frank Lucas. Highly recommend it. Featuring Benny the Butcher. Great.
Do we have that one on the shelf yet?
No, we should get it though. We
Go
should get it.
to your internet.
Go now.
Go to your local internet.
Internet.
Yeah, it's the Fairly Odd Parents meme, but it's real life actually.
True.
Where'd you get that, internet?
Internet.
So anyone got a full on sign off going?
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Love ya.